look, like I said, it's a big difference between tailgating from 7 to 12:30 as it is from 7 to 8 o'clock or 7 to 7:30.
Right.
You know,
Right.
the beers get flowing, emotions running high, and all of a sudden you find yourself choking a pregnant lady.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Donut Bag, part of the Pulse Podcast Network and the Pod Hub Network. In this episode, I talked to Coach Warzu about fan violence, and we preview Week 14 in the NFL. As always, please follow or subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. And remember, we're available now on iHeartRadio. The Donut Bag starts right now. So... I can't even get started. All right. So now to talk about the preview, the weekend's NFL action, and who knows what else. Regular Coach Warzu, Mark Haglauer is he has he's listed as day to day. Return is questionable for tonight. So it's just you and me, Coach. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. We're tag teaming it tonight. Is this like Dynamite Kid and Davey Boy Smith?
Oh, rest in peace, Dynamite Kid. Oh man, I'm very ashamed to admit that I thought he died a long time ago. I thought like every wrestler in the '80s was already dead, except for Hulk Hogan. I think.
Wow, that's because Vince gave him the top of the line. High quality,
right? He gave the other ones like the discount steroids. He gave Hogan the good stuff. Yeah, it's sad. I was a wrestling fan from the early '80s, and it's just sad to see. Like he Dynamite Kid lived to 60, and that's considered very, very old for a wrestler, and that's pretty sad.
You look at all the Chris Benoit, the Brian Pillman type. It's sad. It's a big achievement in the wrestling circles, I guess I would say, to live that long.
Yeah, it's sad. They just what they put through. They're wrestling like almost every single day of the year. I mean, your body just can't take that. I hope it's a little bit better now, but.
Well, I know for sure that the wrestling quality in the shows and entertainment are not better than what they were in the 80s.
Well, see, the wrestling itself is much better. But yeah, you're right. The athleticism is better, but the actual like giving a crap about the wrestlers, the stories, the characters, they're not as good. I just don't really care. It's it's very great to look at the athleticism, but I don't really care about these people.
No, and it's funny because they keep, they want to keep reaching back into the past, and all of a sudden, like, how long has Bobby Lashley been around that now we're touting him as some big time, guy on the card?
Right.
In almost 2019, it's crazy.
Right. Yeah, and then every year Triple H comes out, or The Undertaker, or Shawn Michaels. Like, guys,
Oh my God! This next pay-per-view is going to be like Weekend of Did Shawn Michaels get in the ring yet? Because it's going to be like Weekend of Bernie's this next pay-per-view.
It's a little sad. It's a little sad. These guys were chopping their crotches in the 90s, and now they try to do that. They'd probably pull a muscle.
Listen, they might as well bring Scott Hall back as Razor Ramon at this point.
Why not?
Triple threat. Just get them all in there.
Why not? Scott Hall's kid wrestles, I think. So you could have him out there, probably a grandkid.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, the important news is now we're both in the Pittsburgh area. It basically, the way Pittsburgh has been portrayed this week is basically some Mad Max hellscape. You know, well, every day I drive to work in a tank, and I have to defeat just roving marauders that are fighting for cans of tuna, and I mean that it just this because of the brawls that have happened in the Sunday night game. That's it. We just all fight all the time. Apparently that's what happens.
I mean, listen, I'm no Steeler regular season veteran. I've only been to about a handful, 4 or 5 regular season games in my entire life. But this is being so overblown in comparison to this happens at every, whether people don't want to admit it or not, it happens at every NFL stadium. And I think even worse, I mean, this is just, listen, I haven't been to an away game. This is just judging from all the YouTube videos. And look, I understand that was caught on, because I can't even imagine what happened in the 70s and 80s when there wasn't all this social media. I mean, I'm sure, crazy stuff happened. And look, the 8 o'clock, 8:30 kickoffs do not help at all.
Well, first of all, yeah, expecting people to show up on 8:30 on a Sunday night. People work. I heard of somebody that they didn't want to give their tickets away because if you're a season ticket holder and you sell your tickets, and let's say the person you sell them to chokes a pregnant Chargers fan, they'll get in trouble, but you'll get in trouble too for having that seat license. So people are afraid to sell their seats, but a lot of people, because this game got changed, it was originally a 1 o'clock game and it got changed to 8 o'clock. People had to get rid of those seats, and yeah, that's part of the problem. Is a lot of people that usually don't go to games, and oh man.
And listen, that's how it goes. Somebody has a little too many pops and does something crazy in the inside Heinz Field. They get them out of there, maybe take them down to the holding cell, maybe take a couple mug shots, and then the little letter goes out to whoever holds those seat license and says, hey, somebody was being a big jag off in your seats.
Yeah.
And now you're under video surveillance. Your seats are under surveillance for the rest of the year. And anytime somebody else acts like a jag off, we're just going to take your seats away. We're going to ban whoever for the rest of their lives, quote unquote, from Heinz Field.
It's like you said, this happens in every single stadium, in every game. Something like this happens where, yeah, somebody is from the other team shows up to the stadium and they get harassed or they get in fights or things like that. So, the way they made it sound like that Pittsburgh is just some, there's 65,000 seats. There's 32,000 fights going on. It just sounds like the Royal Rumble or something like that. Like, come on. I go to like 1 or 2 Steeler games a year and about 5 or 6 Penguins games. I've never encountered anything like what they're saying. I've never seen fights. Usually the people that come from other towns from the other team, they know they're vastly outnumbered, so they're pretty cool about it. They'll cheer. They might be a little bit obnoxious, but they also understand that, there's one of them and 65,000 of us, so they're going to cool it.
Look, like I said, it's a big difference between tailgating from 7 to 12:30 as it is from 7 to 8 o'clock or 7 to 7.
Right.
Right. the beer. Listen, the beers get flowing, emotions running high, and all of a sudden you're choking up. You find yourself choking a pregnant lady.
It does.
You never know. You know, like I said off air, you can listen. You can dress up a yinzer all you want, put the nice pants, but you can't take the yinzer out of the yinzer.
Yeah. But it's just, I mean, they need to do something, because it's not a good experience. You pay all that money. Some people drive hundreds of miles. And you get there, and if you're lucky, everything goes right and you have a good time. But that happens maybe 25% of the time. The other 75%, I'm not saying you're getting in brawls with people, but you get just highly annoyed with the people around you for whatever reason. Like, you're sitting down and the person in front of you is standing, or just people saying stupid things or whatever. It's just not a good experience. And that's you stay home and you have a 70-inch TV and you see every little blade of grass right there, and with every camera angle, it's such a better experience just staying at home. If they don't watch, then nobody's going to go to these games.
Well, let me pose a suggestion. Now, I think the majority of this knuckleheadness starts and kind of ends with the tailgating. And why do people drink so much outside the stadium? Because it costs $15 a freaking beer inside. So they're trying to get it in all they can, so they only got to buy, a couple beers inside the game. Here's what you do. The Falcons did this for other reasons, but the Falcons completely slashed prices on all of their concessions. You can buy beers for $4 or $5 there. The Steelers have the most expensive game day experience. It's documented in the NFL. In the most blue collar of towns. Cut the beer prices so people aren't getting completely banged up in the parking lot and blacked out before the game starts.
Here's what you could do. That's a great point. The way things are now with technology, you could count how many beers somebody has in the stadium, and you could say, hey, you've had 2, that's enough, that's all we're selling you, and you can control it. But
I think you're walking a fine line, and you're asking unqualified people who are working there to do something. I don't know. I just think it can start with slashing the beer prices so people aren't trying to drink a million beers so they can save, $100.
Yeah. Well, Steelers won't have to worry about. I don't know what all the fans will do this week. Maybe they'll brawl in the checkout line at Target or something like that, because they're in Oakland this week. So we'll see. All right. So this week, the Thursday night game. This is a barn burner. Jacksonville at Tennessee. Wow. This is what you would call a typical Thursday night game.
Yeah, I mean, we're back to the good old Thursday night.
we're back to normal. I'm picking Tennessee. I mean, good God, I don't even know who the Jacksonville's so bad they can't even have Landry Jones as a quarterback anymore.
Yeah, I mean, when you're picking between Cody Kessler and Marcus Mariota, it's a Thursday night. I love it. Give me the Titans in the under.
I also am going to predict that the Titans will have the butt ugliest uniforms of the week.
Can we stop it? Listen,
They're
who
so
can
ugly.
we contact in that front office, any administration type of role, to get these uniforms out of here?
Whoever decided that just needs to be fired, because those are just the ugliest things I've ever seen.
Was that, listen, was that one of the things where they